Hey, welcome to Graphic Design Basics 2. This is GD 211. And just looking through the class list, I see some familiar names in there. So some of you, this is not your first online class. Some of you have had me before, so you kind of know how I operate. Welcome to all who I've had and who are new students as well. I'm glad to see all of you virtually, to meet all of you virtually. I want to take just a couple of minutes to walk you through the layout of the class, kind of the format of how it's going to work. I will post videos every week, typically first thing Monday morning. But because of the way this course is designed, there are no books. We've developed videos for the educational content, really. So you're going to have a lot of videos to watch. I promise my weekly videos, I'm going to try and keep them as short and succinct as possible, this one included. So that you can get started watching the content videos. With that in mind, though, please don't spend a lot of time struggling on something or feeling super frustrated about something. If you have a question, please use the hands in the air section. I'll show you where that is if you don't know already, or email me. We want to solve problems quickly and get you right back into the course if you're having trouble with something. So. My email is in the professor section here. You can see that. And the discussion board is where you enter things. There's a hands in the air section right here. When you click on that, if you have not subscribed already, it will say subscribe here. I have already subscribed, so it says unsubscribe, which I don't want to do. But if you subscribe to that, then you'll get an email when someone in the class posts a question or a response. So it's a great thread to keep an eye on. It's a great place to throw questions out generally. Now, in addition to that, the course is basically laid out with videos and with exercises and then with assignments. There's also one presentation. One thing you want to be aware of, because you're going to be submitting files, is the naming convention. Please utilize this at all times. I'm not going to accept work that's not submitted with the correct naming convention. There's just too many files being submitted, and they will get completely lost and mixed up. I won't know whose is whose. So make sure that you follow this system here. It's easy. You'll get the hang of it. And the tail end of it here tells us what week we're in and what assignment you're turning in. So. There's also a question and answer forum, and this is basically a weekly project for you. You are graded on it, and the question and answer forum is a place to ask questions. Again, though, if it's something that's keeping you from moving on in the week and you're stuck someplace, don't just put it here. I mean, you can, but put it in the hands in the air or contact me so that you don't get stuck in a spot and can't move forward. All right, this is where you really want to talk about things that you discovered in the program, or maybe things that you already knew about a particular program, really sort of anything that you think the rest of the class is going to gain information from or might have information for you from. So take a look at that question and answer forum. Make sure you don't forget to take part in that weekly. If we go to the discussion board here, you'll see that there's a spot for it every single week. Week 1, Q&A forum, week 2, Q&A forum, week 3, Q&A forum, and so on. That's to help you remember to submit it there, because you're going to go here to submit everything, and then you can see what you have to turn in each week. So week 1, you have that. You also have 4 exercises to do, and then a presentation. Don't be startled by that. Once you get into the meat of the class, you're going to see that some of the exercises are really, really simple. Once you watch the videos and pay attention and take some notes as you're going along, you're going to jump right in and be able to build those exercises in minutes. So it's not that everything is going to take you a really long time. Comment expectations. This is a standard format that we have here. 2 comments for each assignment in addition to your thread. So you post an initial thread, and then you comment on 2 of your peers and do that on different days. In this class, you're not going to comment on the exercises. That's sort of futile. You've got the question and answer form. That's where most of your commenting is going to happen. But you do have, we'll go back here, you do have a presentation And then you do have assignments for one for each of the different programs that we study, and there are 4 that we study. So those you will do comments on, okay? And I'll remind you on the weekly videos, but just keep that in mind. You don't have to do it for all these exercises, but you are going to do it for the presentation and for the assignments, okay? So I want to take just another minute here to point out the syllabus to you. Make sure you read all of this stuff. You should anyway. This one basically tells us what the class is about, what our objectives are, and the basic outline of it. The grading scale is standard for the university. And then we've got the Part 2 syllabus, and this actually breaks down the grades for you and gives some information about late work, not accepted, participation, etc. So make sure you take a look at those. I think it's handy to keep this on hand along with this and keep an eye on your grades in here. Again, my professor information is in here. Looks like I need to delete that. I'll get rid of that. So make sure you let me know if you have questions. I do have office hours, but you don't need to really worry about that unless you're on campus and you want to come in and see me, which you are more than welcome to do. But otherwise, I tend to keep an eye on the email pretty regularly, even after my office hours. I will check it in the evening. So if you're struggling with something, hopefully I will get back to you very quickly. Always within 48 hours, but typically it's much quicker than that. So week 1 is going to set us up basically like every other week in here, where you've got videos to watch. And we've added just kind of a little bullet list under each video that tells you, the general things. You may want to write these down and then take notes next to that. And then an exercise below it. Sometimes, like in week 2, you're going to have several videos in a row and then your exercise. Okay? I'm going to actually switch this to not having edit mode on. That way some of the stuff that's just for me isn't going to show up for you. Okay, so week 1, we've got videos with little exercises after them. That's an easy way to jump you right in and have you start utilizing the program and the tools that are in there without a whole long list of notes that you need to keep track of. Question and answer forum is down here. And then week 1, you also have your presentation. And all of you have to have the Adobe Creative Cloud subscription. With that subscription, you also have access to Adobe Spark. This is presentation software. It is super easy to use, really, really easy to use. And when you open it up, you'll be able to watch a little video there. They can walk you through how to do things. It truly is very, very simple. And it's very sleek looking. There's a lot of ways to present it when you're done as well. But there's a list here of simple things that you're going to be doing, and there's a couple of sites here that you should use to help find information. It's just a quick way to find some information on designers, not just general artists, but designers in particular that are utilizing Adobe Photoshop, which is the program that we're studying this first week. So we want you to find someone that you think uses the software in an interesting way, and then do some research on that person as well. So you find them in here, but then you're going to go out past that and find a little bit more information about that artist. Show us some examples of their work, give us a little bio, and if in the research you find out how they're using the software, tell us a little bit about that. Don't copy and paste information. I'm not interested in that. And you're in college, you should be writing things. So write this. It doesn't need to be lengthy. It doesn't need to be super wordy, but give us some information, give us some good visuals. Tell us your thoughts on the use of the software, and then post the link to it. It shows you how to do that when you use Adobe Spark. So you're going to post that in the presentation thread. So in the discussion board, then you would go in here and click on the presentation, and you would create a thread, and that's where you post it. So that's how we post things in the class. In the question and answer forum, you just create that thread here, and then you respond to other threads that are in there as well. And then each one of the exercises, whoops, we're frozen here. Each one of the exercises, you do the same thing. When you have week 1A exercise ready to go, click on that, create your thread, You'll put in the name here so we know who is submitting it. And then you're going to post your link right here, okay? And then submit. All right, so as we roll through these weeks, I'm just going to roll through a couple. You've seen that you've got a presentation there in week 1, and then we've got exercises in week 2 and week 3. When we get to week 4, we have our first assignment due, because this is the last week that we're dealing with Photoshop. So once you've finished your exercises, you should be working on this. And it's not a bad idea, really, to look ahead and see where these assignments are. I can tell you they're in weeks 4, 7, 10, and 12. So it's a good idea to kind of look ahead and see what you need to be doing, because some of the research part of it you can get ready ahead of time. They are also all related. So you're going to utilize what you've done in the first assignment, in the second assignment, and in the third, and in the fourth, and so on. So you don't want to skip an assignment. It'll really throw you off, and you'll end up having to backtrack and redo something that you can't get credit for if you didn't do it. So I think that gets us started here. Once you've read through the announcements here and the syllabus and the course information, then jump right into week 1 and get started watching those videos again. Please let me know if you have questions. I'm excited that we have this class now and that we have a chance to just, at least skim the surface of these programs. They're super important, and we haven't up to this point had a formal class teaching the software. So we wanted to make sure that we got you all off on the right foot and utilize, at least some familiarity, utilizing the tools that are in there, and a comfort level that at least allows you to go out and find more information on things that you want to know more about. All right, good luck this week.